high-quality industry-aligned and practice-oriented training within a broader policy framework that stimulates labor demand. In this regard, the government is going to establish 3 new technical universities to strengthen skills development, enhance innovation, and support national industrialization efforts. Mr. Speaker, the Teachers Housing Initiative is a joint effort involving district assemblies, Common Fund, Get Fund, NAT, and JESOS. And the aim is to build 50,000 housing units for teachers. This initiative is called the Teacher Library. This partnership demonstrates our collective dedication to enhancing teachers' living conditions and boosting the retention of teachers, especially in rural and remote areas, and ensuring that teachers can live, work, and retire with dignity and security. Mr. Speaker, by prioritizing equitable access and expanding infrastructure, we're investing in human capital and laying the foundation for Ghana.
Dans ce jeu massivement multijoueur aux possibilités infinies, à chaque saut, on s'en remet au destin.
Prioritizing equitable access and expanding infrastructure, we're investing in human capital and laying the foundation for a Ghana where every child learn, grow, and succeed. Mr. Speaker, our health system. By January 2025, our health system was under severe strain. Aging and deteriorating equipment, called hospital projects amounting to 15 billion Ghana cedis in liabilities, and growing workforce pressures had weakened service delivery. Over the past year, donor support to our health sector declined sharply from 19% of our total health budget to just 2.2% today, creating an annual financing gap of more than 2.4 billion Ghana cedis. The withdrawal of support from programs previously financed by partners such as the USAID exposed the vulnerability in essential supplies, particularly in remote and underserved communities. My government chose to act decisively. In 2026, direct government funding will account for about 72% of our total health spending. This is up from 56.8% in 2023. Core health locations have risen to GHS 23.3 billion, and with national health insurance resources included, total health financing now stands at 34.7 billion Ghana cedis. This reflects our clear commitment to domestic financing and health sovereignty. At the same time, we have faced the growing burden of non-communicable diseases. Today, non-communicable diseases account for over 40% of all deaths in Ghana and remain a major cause of household poverty. To address this, the government established the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, otherwise called Mahama Cares. Mr. Speaker, this is the first nationwide financing mechanism dedicated to diseases. Mr. Speaker, the National Health Insurance to reflect the realistic cost of health treatment as a result of the increased
That's point. That's why I'm using it. Thank you. Claims payments are now timely, with facilities no longer waiting more than 6 months as happened in the past for payment to be made. We're also finalizing measures to increase provider tariffs by over 100% to reflect the realistic cost of health treatment. As a result of the increased trust, NHIS enrollment has risen from 57% at the start of 2025 to 66% today. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's health workforce density has risen from 16.6% per 10,000 people in 2025 to nearly 42 per 10,000 today.
while public sector health employment has doubled to approximately 200,000 workers. And yet, significant challenges remain. At the beginning of 2025, over the past year, 13,500 nurses and midwives, along with hundreds of doctors and pharmacists, have been absorbed into the public payroll. Nursing trainee allowances have been regularized and restored. Application fees have been reduced, and the no-fee stress initiative introduced to ease access to training has been extended. These conditions are being implemented to boost morale and retention. Looking ahead, government will expand recruitment and take necessary action to add more health workers onto the payroll. We will also correct through targeted incentives for health in underserved areas. Let me use this opportunity to accept postings to our underserved areas, as it is a national call to duty, while we work to ensure that they have an enabling environment to do their work. Mr. Speaker, we'll also scale up specialist and advanced nursing training to match the country's changing disease profile. New post-basic nursing programs in cardiology, nephrology, endocrinology, and oncology will be introduced. This, with the two existing ones, emergency and critical care nurses, will be scaled up. At least 30 nursing training institutions will transition to competency-based degree curriculums, supported by new scholarship opportunities for PhD-level trained nurses and allied health professionals. Mr. Speaker, on health infrastructure, my government remains firm in its commitment not to abandon unfinished projects. We'll continue to retool facilities, strengthen emergency and disease systems, and ensure that health infrastructure is properly aligned with staffing, equipment, and financing. In 2026 budget, provision has been made to commence regional hospitals in Oti, Savannah, and the Western North regions. This will expand access to quality care. Aligned with the reset agenda, we're making strategic investments in local pharmaceutical and vaccine production. The government has allocated 50 million in seed funding to the National Vaccine Institute. And in 2025, a local manufacturer secured market authorization to produce snake venom antiserum right here in Ghana. We're also finalizing steps to implement an advanced market commitment to prioritize locally manufactured vaccines and pharmaceuticals in public procurement. Production of the tetanus diphtheria vaccine is expected to commence this year through a partnership with an Indonesian pharmaceutical firm. Disease control remains our priority in our country's immunization financing. We will strengthen immunization financing. In 2025, the vaccine budget for children and pregnant women was increased by 46%, exceeding the 171 million Ghana cedis. And this enabled Ghana to fully and promptly finance all its vaccines and reduce the risk of preventable outbreaks. In 2025, we also introduced the HPV vaccine to protect young women and girls against cervical cancer. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's HIV prevalence rate is estimated at 1.6%. And as I speak with you, there are about 350,000 of our countrymen and women living with. Mr. Speaker, although prevalence is low on average, the Ghana AIDS Commission has been ensuring the availability of testing and antiretrovirals. This year, government will fully roll out a free primary health care program, removing all cost barriers at the primary level where it is most needed, while strengthening prevention, screening, and health promotion, especially for non-communicable diseases. The Ghana Medical Trust Fund will be scaled up, and access to advanced cardiac care, including cardiac catheterization services at Tamale, Kolebu, and Komfo Anokye Hospital, will be expanded to reduce overseas referrals and position Ghana as a center for specialized care in the sub-region, in line with our medical tourism objectives. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Health is expected to issue guidelines to eliminate the unacceptable no-bed syndrome. Patients facing medical emergencies must be received and given help, if even under makeshift conditions. You don't need to have a comfortable bed to save a patient. No patient must be turned away from any health facility they report to. Mr. Speaker, but in the meantime, government will expand capacity by implementing the Rich Hospital Phase 2 project to increase the number of beds at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. We will also continue and complete the police project, and also continue and complete the La General Hospital. Mr. Speaker, in the Ashanti region, we will complete the Sewa Regional Hospital. We will complete the Aferi Military Hospital. And we'll complete the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital Maternity and Children's Block. Mr. Speaker, we remain on course to build a stronger, more resilient, and more self-reliant health system for all Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, roads are a very important sector. We inherited obligations and structural pressures in the road. As of December, through the consolidated funds, stood at 21 billion Ghana cedis. Works executed by contractors across the country, payments had not been made. In addition, indebtedness to contractors that was lodged with the Ghana Road Fund Secretariat and awaiting payment amounted to 5.43 billion Ghana cedis. This figure includes accruing interest charges, which continue to...
Fire! Every demon still comfort customers.
Amen.
You need to sow a big seed, and all your customers will return.
No. Keep your money. You want a blow pack new takeaway fast. Remember, and Katayi, there's a blow pack a 2-year pa. If you know Guma and Juntem, you bet your microwave, you bet your room. That's how you should do.
Sir, is that why you left me?
Honey, you are a tom phobia. Baby.
Me too. Blow pack in so ball and Cindy a woo just.
Customers they run before, then she find the magic pack.
New blow pack because I saved my business. So the customers come. Yes, free as a
Naturally, the bulk of the money is dedicated to the road sector. We want to open economic corridors, create jobs, and reduce the cost of doing business. As I speak to you, work has started on 50 that cover a distance of 1,100. The total estimated cost of these projects is 50 billion Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, government is also completing 23 projects that were awarded by the previous administration but were not paid for. These projects amount to another 573 kilometers and are estimated to cost 15 cedis. So if you add that to the 1,500, it means about 2,000 kilometers of roads are currently undergoing rehabilitation as I speak. This is the biggest major investment in our road sector in the history of Ghana. Across all 16 regions, 73 projects are advancing with significant visible progress expected by the end of the year. Some of these include Tepamabangoso, the Kumasi Bypass Road, Swami Interchange and Local Roads, Sunyani Outer Ring Road, Sampa Jinijini Road, Techima Nkonsia Winchi Road, dualization of Winneba Cape Coast Road, Kwau Tafo Adosu Road, Dodowa Afenya Dawenya, Bintiri Nakwanduri, Tamale Outer Ring Road, Wenchi Sola, Sola Wa, Bole Chache, Bole Town Road, Navrongo Tumu, Tumu Han Laura, Atimpoku Ho, Ho Denu, dualization of Accra, Aflao, dualization of Cape Coast Frade, Dadieso Akontombra, to name just few. Mr. Speaker, other feeder roads are Akosombo Jakiti Kudupe, Kudikope, Yeniam Junction Sedom, Apegusum Pakadan, Todrome to Palime Gemini Road. Indeed, there are many others too numerous to mention. And as I said at the launch of the Big Push program, the whole of Ghana is going to become a construction site. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians can already testify that serious road works are underway across the country. Mr. Speaker, the Accra-Kumasi Expressway will be a 198.7 kilometer, 6-lane high-speed motorway. This expressway is designed to connect Ghana's two largest cities, Accra and Kumasi, and to reduce the traveling time between Accra and Kumasi to approximately 2.5 hours. Mr. Speaker, this new alignment will have 8 interchanges and will be Ghana's first true expressway. And so government has established the Accra-Kumasi Expressway Limited, which is a subsidiary of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, as the concessionaire that will be mandated to design, to finance construction, with the Ministry of as the contracting authority. The project delivery is structured as a long-term concession of up to 50 years. Mr. Speaker, this expressway will be Ghana's first purpose-built expressway with limited points, so boats and sheep cannot cross at any point. Mr. Speaker, it's designed for higher speed limits and modern safety infrastructure to reduce travel time and improve road safety. Preparatory activities including feasibility studies, the detailed designs and cost assessments are currently underway. This major road construction work aims to improve mobility, safety, and trade while connecting communities to markets and essential services. Mr. Speaker, the Eastern Corridor. We aim to complete all unfinished segments of the Eastern Corridor Road by the end of 2027. Mr. Speaker, we'll continue and complete the 27.7 Accra-Temamoto Way and Extension project. And this includes reconstructing the Accra-Temamoto Way into a 4-lane expressway with 3-lane service roads in both directions, and interchanges at Ashaman Underbridge. It will now be an interchange. There will be another interchange at Community 18 and Teshi Link. Mr. Speaker, it also involves remodeling the Tetekwashi interchange. Construction works are ongoing and progress is at 32%. Mr. Speaker, other important projects include the Kumasi Inner Ring Road, the Volivo Bridge over the Southern Volta River, the Dambai Bridge over the River Oti, and the Adoso Bridge over the River at Eche Amanfrong. The Ministry of Roads has received cabinet use road tolls on our roads. Mr. Speaker, this time using advanced technology, to improve efficiency, transparency, and avoid leakages in revenue generation. Preparatory work is underway to ensure reintroduction of tolling operations this year. Mr. Speaker, there is no doubt that an effective and efficient transport system is integral to any economic development plan. So to improve public transport services in the country, government is supporting Intercity SCC Coaches Limited, Metro Mass Transit Limited, and the private road transport operators to renew their fleet. Currently, a total of 300 buses have been procured to improve road transport. The initial batch of 100 buses is scheduled to arrive in the country by the end of the first quarter of this year. Mr. Speaker, in fulfillment of my pledge to re-establish a national airline, a 10-member task force established to oversee this initiative has submitted a business model and operational framework to guide the selection of a strategic partner for the new national airline. And this new national airline will take off soon, inshallah. Mr. Speaker, passenger traffic handled by the Ghana Airports Company increased to 3.625 million passengers in 2025. This was an increase from 3.4 million in 2024. In response to the rising passenger traffic and congestion at the Accra International Airport's new Terminal 3, we are remodeling Terminal 2 into a dual-purpose facility to serve both domestic and international flights. So, when the remodeling of Terminal 2 is finished, all the domestic flights and some of the international flights will be moved to Terminal 2 so that we ease the congestion on Terminal 3. This will improve operational efficiency and enhance the overall passenger experience. Mr. Speaker, Accra's Terminal 3 remains amongst the best in Africa. A new concourse will link Terminal 2 and Terminal 3 so that passengers arriving in Terminal 2 and having to move to Terminal 3 won't have to come out and walk. They'll go through the concourse. Mr. Speaker, Terminal 3 is going to be supported by a new 7-story floor car park. It will also have an airport hotel and retail amenities to service the passengers. Mr. Speaker, runway expansion and overlay is currently being undertaken to strengthen the Accra International Airport runway. Mr. Speaker, we will also begin work on new regional airports in Sunyani, in Bolgatanga, and Wa. In Sunyani, the current location of the airport is not appropriate to extend the runway, and so we have to move and build a new airport at a different location. Bolgatanga, the site has been acquired and work will commence. Wa also, we have to move the airport from where it is because it intersects the road and the airport slopes upwards, making it inappropriate for air travel. Mr. Speaker, we are also reverting the airport in Accra, the international airport in Accra, to its original name, the Accra International Airport. Even though NLC Decree 129 was passed, no effort or nothing was done to effect the clause in the decree that said that the airport should be renamed after Kotoka. So in all international records in ICAO and IATA, that airport in Accra, the international airport, remains named Accra International Airport. Mr. Speaker, we are working to fully operationalize the Tema-Mpakadang rail line to maximize passenger and freight traffic between Tema and the north using the Volta Lake waterway. The Western and Eastern Railway lines will continue to be modernized in partnership with the private sector. These projects are aimed to support the efficient transport of container and bulk cargo to and from our ports, as well as to facilitate the efficient haulage of minerals Suta, Awaso, and Yinahing to the Takrady port, while also providing passenger transport along the respective rail corridors. Mr. Speaker, as part of the 24-hour economy initiative, a new 24-hour operation has started at Tema Port, allowing access to port services around the clock. This development enables importers to clear their goods at any time, significantly easing congestion at the terminals like the transit terminals, the reefer terminal, and the Golden Jubilee terminal. The initiative brings together customs, banking, and other relevant agencies to enhance efficiency, low transaction costs, and boost Ghana's competitiveness as a major trade hub. Cabinet has reviewed the designs and feasibility study for the Keta Port and directed the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to present an action plan and a roadmap for the realization of the project at the earliest possible time. Mr. Speaker, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, as part of its expansion efforts, has established a new operational office at Adenta Bus Terminal in Accra. If you need any service in the night from DVLA, go to Adenta. There's an office open there day and night. Mr. Speaker, this modern facility operates around the clock, providing continuous service to improve accessibility and convenience for our motorists in Adenta municipality and the whole general Accra area. Mr. Speaker, communications is important, and under the Rural Telephony and Digital Inclusion Project implemented for electronic communications GIFEC, we extend voice and data connectivity to unserved and underserved communities. We've targeted the construction of 2,016 cell sites all over underserved and unserved communities. 1,561 of these 2,016 cell sites have been constructed, and of this number, 1,144 have been activated. Work is ongoing to activate the remaining 417 sites. Preparations are also well underway to commence construction of the remaining 455 sites. Mr. Speaker, under the School Connectivity Initiative, over 62,000 digital resources have been uploaded to the Ghana Knowledge and Skills Bank, enabling seamless access across multiple devices, from PCs to laptops to tablets and smartphones, for more than 600,000 users, including teachers and researchers. Mr. Speaker, data protection, cybersecurity, the metaverse, and artificial intelligence over 4 years. That is the pilot phase, saw hundreds of trainees complete their training programs in person across 4 training centers that were established in Accra, Kumasi, Sunyani, and Bolgatanga. Mr. Speaker, phase 2, which will include virtual sessions, is set to commence this year. With expanded training centers and an increased number of beneficiaries, we project that 400,000 young Ghanaians will be trained this year. This will build up to the numbers approaching 1 million. Mr. Speaker, the fight against corruption has remained a defining priority of my government and represents a central pillar of our commitment to good governance and accountability and the prudent management of public resources. Mr. Speaker, we've made progress through strengthening collaboration among law enforcement agencies, financial intelligence institutions, and prosecutors. These efforts have led to initiation of criminal proceedings and asset forfeiture proceedings against some individuals and entities implicated in financial crimes against the state. But yes, I agree with the sentiments of Ghanaians that we must press harder on this accelerator. As of December 2025, IOCO has recovered more than 600 million Ghana cedis. The office has investigated 462 cases, with 15 currently under prosecution. It has dismantled transnational carjacking syndicates and has recovered 29 luxury vehicles. that were stolen. Mr. Speaker, the government remains resolute that corruption will not be tolerated, regardless of status or political affiliation. The Attorney General's office will continue to use both criminal prosecution and asset recovery mechanisms to ensure that stolen public resources are returned for national development. Mr. Speaker, I understand that a large majority of Ghanaians are impatient to see those who abuse their public trust in office held to account. Mr. Speaker, there were periods when, under military regimes and unconstitutional governments, extrajudicial means could be used to exact retribution against persons perceived as corrupt or who had abused the mandate given to them by the people. Mr. Speaker, this may have appeared as swift justice, but many regrettable excesses were recorded. In 1992, we overwhelmingly adopted the 1992 Constitution to accept governance by the rule of law. On 7th January, when I swore the oath of office before the people of Ghana, I swore to uphold the 1992 Constitution. I may be as impatient as everyone else to see justice done, but painstaking investigations must be conducted. Dockets must be prepared, charges must be filed, and the accused must have their day in court, including appealing, even on the smallest point of law, to higher courts. This process is necessary to protect us all against abuse or ill treatment of citizens, and to ensure that only those guilty of offenses against the state are punished. As President Mills of blessed memory said, he said, and I quote, "The wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine." Mr. Speaker, right now, let me reassert my determination to uphold the accountability of public office holders to the people of Ghana. We have laid the Public Officers Code of Conduct Bill before Parliament. This bill codifies the conduct of public officers and makes breaches thereof punishable. I wish at this juncture to thank His Lordship, the Chief Justice, for establishing additional specialized high courts to address breaches identified in the Auditor General's report. Mr. Speaker, conducted in a transparent and consultative manner, drawing on input from constitutional experts, civil society organizations, traditional authorities, religious leaders, political parties, and the general public. The review committee has its comprehensive report containing detailed proposals to amend the Constitution to address identified weaknesses and make it more welfare enhancing. Mr. Speaker, the Attorney General's office is working closely with relevant stakeholders to translate the recommendations into implementable legal and constitutional proposals, which will be presented to this August House in accordance with constitutional procedures. Mr. Speaker, illegal mining continues to pose a grave threat to our environment, water bodies, public health, and national security. Mr. Speaker, prosecution of persons engaged in illegal mining has been intensified, with a renewed focus on dismantling organized criminal networks behind Galamsey operations, rather than targeting only the little fish, low-level offenders. Mr. Speaker, in all these Galamsey operations, there are big fish who never get caught. Mr. Speaker, in total, over 114 case dockets involving hundreds of accused persons are pending in various courts across the country, particularly in towns and villages that are prone to illegal mining. Specialized prosecutorial teams have been deployed to fast-track illegal mining cases, ensure the effective presentation of evidence, and pursue the confiscation and forfeiture of equipment and proceeds used in or derived from illegal mining. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to gender and social protection, my government will continue to ensure gender equality and equity, promote the welfare and protection of children's rights, and empower the vulnerable, the aged, and persons with disability for sustainable national development.
Wow.
Work is well advanced on the Women's Development Bank, for which a total of 401 million Ghana cedis has been allocated in the 2026 budget. The coming months will see a full rollout of this monumental policy to empower Ghanaian women and women-owned businesses economically and financially. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection has successfully honored all legacy leave payment cycles for 2025 and before, reaching 1.5 million people. It has also ensured the full implementation of the Ghana School Feeding Program in over 12,000 public schools across all 261 districts of this country. Mr. Speaker, the number of beneficiary pupils under the school feeding program has increased from 3,801,000.
Register for free. Choose from over 200,000 vehicles online. Get your car straight from the USA and Canada. Financing is available. Auction Expert, business you can trust.
This program is providing gainful employment to 34,000 caterers and cooks nationwide. Mr. Speaker, in the security sector, Ghana faces evolving security threats. Our troops, services, and agencies have, however, remained firmly committed to strengthening national peace and security, which underpin our democracy, development, and social cohesion. This commitment encompasses internal security operations, international peace support missions, strategic investment in restructuring and retooling, and improvement in troops' welfare, recruitment, and capacity development. Mr. Speaker, two recent incidents are evidence of the increasing dangers we face as a nation. The killing of 8 of our compatriots who had gone to a neighboring country to purchase tomatoes. And just yesterday, an attack on Ghanaian fishermen in our waters by pirates reinforced the need for us to retool and adequately equip our security services. Mr. Speaker, I wish to commend the Ghana Armed Forces for conducting a successful medical evacuation of our injured compatriots from Burkina Faso. I also commend the Ghana Navy and the Ghana Air Force, the National Security Council Secretariat, the Chief of Staff Operations Team, the MP for Ewutu Senya, the Chief Fisherman, and people of Senya Breku for the combined effort that successfully rescued all the stranded 71 fishermen who had been attacked by pirates. I've asked the National Security Coordinator to assist the affected fishermen and replace the stolen outboard motors and fishing gear.
And now you are.
Mr. Speaker, the Armed Forces continues to play a key role in containing illegal small-scale mining through the deployment of river guards and support for the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat and assistance to special courts for swift prosecution of offenders. Mr. Speaker, during the year, the Ghana forces had 2,119 troops with requisite equipment deployed in various peacekeeping missions, reinforcing Ghana's reputation as a dependable and professional contributor to international peacekeeping operations. While Ghana continues to maintain an enviable reputation in international peacekeeping, we must note that many of these peacekeeping theaters where we have operated are winding down due to reduced budgets for UN peace support operations. And so as our troops return home, we must create opportunities for them to train, to remain active, and stay engaged. Mr. Speaker, beyond peacekeeping operations, Ghana continues to demonstrate its strong commitment to international solidarity, humanitarian assistance, and South-South cooperation. In December 2025, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in conjunction with the Ministry of Defense, deployed 54 personnel from our 14 Engineers Brigade to Jamaica to support that country with national reconstruction efforts following the devastation that was caused by Hurricane Melissa, which claimed over 40 lives. In recognition of the scale of the recovery effort and the good work our soldiers were doing in reconstructing the houses in Jamaica, government approved a request from the government of Jamaica asking us to extend the mandate of our soldiers there for another 90 days, which we approved. Mr. Speaker, to further improve operational readiness, the government will continue to invest in vital defense infrastructure and retooling. The construction of a forward operating base at Ezen-Libo, situated along the Western Maritime Corridor, is ongoing. This facility aims to boost maritime surveillance and better protect offshore oil and gas installations. The Northern Border Security Project, initiated to counter terrorism and transnational crime, is advancing decisively. This project against any infiltration and extremist threats coming from the Sahel, and it would significantly strengthen the surveillance of our northern border. Plans are well advanced to establish 2 new military barracks in Ejumako in the central region and in Dambai in the Oti region to address emerging security concerns and strengthen the presence of the state in these areas. To further support retooling efforts, agreements have been signed to procure and deliver 4 brand new Eurocopter helicopters and 1 jet for the Ghana Air Force, aimed at replacing the aging fleet and modernizing our air capabilities. The Ghana Armed Forces is carrying out a thorough overhaul of previously grounded aircraft, which involves replacing essential components and bringing them back into service. This aims to quickly restore their operational readiness and maximize our fleet availability. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to announce that I have further commissioned 50 new vehicles for the Ghana Armed Forces to enhance mobility and boost troop morale. It forms part of a broader program to retool the military and improve logistics across the services. Plans are underway to acquire 2 brand new offshore patrol vessels, armored personnel carriers, protective gear, ammunition, vehicles, and strategic drones and advanced communication systems to enhance the operational capability of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. We will also continue to prioritize human capital development within the armed forces. A progressive recruitment drive to increase the strength of the Ghana Armed Forces by 12,000 personnel over 4 years to support expansion and operational demands is ongoing. In line with the government's reset agenda, the recruitment process has been decentralized to regional capitals, with selected recruits reporting directly from their regions to training schools, marking a significant shift from the previous Accra-centered system. Mr. Speaker, on a very solemn note, I wish to express my condolences to the families of 6 of our young daughters who died during the stampede at the Elwak Stadium. May their memory be blessed and may they rest in perfect peace. Mr. Speaker, following the revised gratuity regime that was introduced in 2020 under the stewardship of Honorable Nichiu, extending service by 5 years, under Constitutional Instrument 129, accumulated, Mr. Speaker, because no budgetary provision over the 4 years that followed. When we all leave politics, I and Nitu are going to the same place in the north. You go to Winneba. Don't worry, we are brothers. Mr. Speaker, this has resulted in over 1 billion Ghana cedis owed to approximately 3,000 personnel across all the different ranks. As part of our commitment to fairness and the resolution of long-standing legacy issues, the government will soon commence payment of gratuity arrears under CI 129. Honorable Nitu, we're solving the problem, so you won't worry about it again. Mr. Speaker, following engagements that we initiated by the current military high command with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Defense, a structured implementation plan has been agreed upon. This will bring closure to the issue that has been outstanding since 2020, and it will ensure that affected personnel receive their rightful entitlements. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Police Service has also received 40 armored vehicles and 100 pickup trucks. Other security agencies such as the Fire, Prison and Narcotics Control Commission will also be retooled. Mr. Speaker, let me take this moment to commend the IGP and his men for the recent major successes they are chalking in bringing dangerous criminals to justice. The trust of the Ghanaian people in their police service is rising again, and I urge you to keep up the standard. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's foreign policy remains a central instrument for advancing our national development, for safeguarding our sovereignty, and projecting our values on the global stage. At a time when the global environment is characterized by profound geopolitical shifts, economic uncertainty, climate-related challenges, and evolving security concerns within our sub-region, government has taken deliberate steps to ensure that Ghana's engagement with the world is purposeful, strategic, and responsive to the needs of our people. In this regard, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has stepped up efforts to align Ghana's external relations with our domestic development priorities. Mr. Speaker, in West Africa, Ghana continues to pursue a policy of good neighborliness, solidarity, and constructive all countries in the sub-region. We remain firmly committed to the vision of a peaceful, stable, prosperous, and integrated West Africa, grounded in mutual respect, dialogue, and collective responsibility. We must sustain engagement and deepen relations with our sister AES member states, particularly following their withdrawal from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Believes that continued dialogue and cooperation are indispensable to regional stability and that disengagement only deepens our collective vulnerabilities. At the continental level, Ghana continues to play an active, principled, and forward-looking role in advancing the African Union's strategic priorities. Today, Ghana currently holds the following prestigious positions. We are AU champions on reparations. We are AU champions for African financial institutions. And Ghana is also the AU champion for gender equality and women's empowerment. Mr. Speaker, I'm humbled by my election as the first vice chairperson of the African Union at the 39th ordinary session. At the 39th ordinary session of the AU Assemblies of Heads of State and Government held recently in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Mr. Speaker, it is also gratifying to note that my colleague leaders in West Africa have declared me, John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Office. They have declared me unopposed by the grace of God, sole candidate for the position of chairperson of the African Union when the rotating chairmanship returns to West Africa in 2027. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, during the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, I raised Ghana's voice to call for a comprehensive reset of the United Nations to better reflect the current realities and particularly the role of Africa in global governance and fairness in international financial systems. In line with our multilateral commitments, Ghana announced plans to table a United Nations resolution that recognizes the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity, and promoting an agenda of acknowledgement, reparative justice, and cultural restitution. Mr. Speaker, I'll formally present this resolution, which has been endorsed and adopted by the African Union unanimously, to the UN in March of this year for consideration by the UN General Assembly. Mr. Speaker, passports have never been easier to acquire than under this regime. Mr. Speaker, the Foreign Ministry of Foreign Affairs has established 7 new passport application centers in Upper East, Oti, Ahafo regions, Bono East, Northeast, my own region, Savannah, and the Western North region. Mr. Speaker, with this expansion, all 16 regional capitals now host passport application centers, marking a major milestone in the decentralization of passport services. Mr. Speaker, to address systemic delays, the ministry implemented a 24-hour passport production operation at the head office. This enabled the clearance of an inherited backlog of over 40 passport applications. As a result of these, Ghana's Passport Administration now operates with 0 backlog, guaranteeing passport delivery within 15 working days. If you like, try it. Apply for a new passport. Within 15 days, you'll receive your passport. Mr. Speaker, to facilitate travel and boost tourism and ease business mobility, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs implemented a 5-day visa processing service across all Ghana's missions abroad. What this means is that anyone who applies for a visa will get the visa within 5 days. Concurrently, significant progress has been made in the design and procurement phase of a national e-visa platform with a targeted rollout plan for 2026. This means if you apply for visa, you apply online and the visa is approved online. You don't need to go to the Ghana embassy to apply. Ghana has also secured new visa waiver agreements with 11 countries to facilitate people-to-people exchange. It means for those 11 countries, Ghanaians don't need passports to go there. You just jump on the plane and appear there, and they'll allow you in. Mr. Speaker, to highlight Ghana's ongoing commitments to international solidarity, we made humanitarian donations to Jamaica, Cuba, Sudan, and Palestine to support disaster relief and conflict-related crises. These donations amounted to millions of cedis and included food, medicine, clothing, cocoa products, blankets, and mattresses, and plastic buckets. I'm also pleased to report that remittances from our relatives abroad, the Ghanaian diaspora, reached a historic high of $7.8 billion in 2025. Mr. Speaker, this is the largest annual inflow ever recorded in Ghana's history. This reflects not only confidence in the Ghanaian economy, but the enduring patriotism of our citizens living and working abroad. Mr. Speaker, these remittances they bring back home support households, they finance education, they build homes, they provide seed money for businesses, and best of all, they stabilize our foreign exchange position. In many respects, our diaspora has become one of the country's most reliable development partners. Without contracts, conditionalities, or fanfare, they are easily one of our most reliable development partners. We must intentionally ensure that citizenship, rather than place of residence, determines one's right to serve the Ghanaian Republic. Ghanaians worldwide who pledge allegiance to this country of theirs and make substantial contributions to its development should not be barred from active participation. Youth development and empowerment are the core of everything we're trying to achieve. We're implementing many policies to develop our youth capacity and to create as many jobs as possible to address the major unemployment. Youth activities and job creation programs are ongoing. In 2025, 87 young people were trained in entrepreneurship programs and job creation under the Ejumara program. In 2026, an additional 10,000 young people received similar support under the program. The National Apprenticeship Program onboarded 14,000 young apprentices during the pilot phase, and they have receiving their start-up kits after passing out successfully. Training is ongoing across the regions, and when completed, the trainees will be certified by the Commission for TVET to facilitate their access to employment. Mr. Speaker, this year the target for the National Apprenticeship Program has been increased from 10,000 to 100,000 young people, offering many more young people the opportunity to acquire the skills needed for sustainable development. And as I said, when they pass out, they are giving a certificate by TVET to show that they have passed out and have the skill in whatever they learned. In 2025, 86,000 young people were engaged through the Youth Employment Agency, various employment modules under this agency. This year, I've directed the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment all the youth employment modules under the YEA to reduce duplication and ensure value for money. This is important so that we can channel the resources to the advantage of the teeming youth who are waiting for opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the National Service Authority has signed an MOU with the Ministry of Defense to commence military training for 10,000 national service personnel in the 2025-2026 service year. And so our national service personnel will receive call-ups to report at various military centers for training. Mr. Speaker, this was a program initiated by our late Minister for Defense of blessed memory, Dr. Edward Omani Boama, who was desirous of seeing it to full execution. I therefore charged the National Service Authority and the Ghana Armed Forces to bring life into the exercise for the benefit of the personnel and the training of our young people. Mr. Speaker, my government has launched a wide range of initiatives aimed at transforming Ghana's trade and agribusiness and industrial sectors to boost our competitiveness in export markets, encourage value addition, and generate employment for Ghana's large youth population. My recent visits with the hard-working Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry to inaugurate new factories and initiate expansion works on factories has convinced me that Ghana is on the right track for industrial transformation. The ministry has begun implementing policies in the areas of textile and garment manufacturing, pharmaceuticals and vaccine manufacturing, automotive and components manufacturing, and contract farming and agro-processing. As a first step, we are collaborating with private sector to establish 3 new garment factories in Eastern Region, Central Region, and Bono East Region. This will create an estimated 27,000 jobs.
Trust fund.
Mr. Speaker, this government will fulfill its commitment to revive key state-owned enterprises. The ministry is in the process of sourcing strategic investors to operationalize the Water Star Textiles Factory, the Commander Sugar Factory, the Pualugu Tomato Factory, the Zoarungo Meat Factory, and the Akosombo Textiles Limited.
The Ghana Medical.
Ghana's non-traditional exports recorded a 27.04% growth in 2025, with total earnings of $4.87 billion, up from $3.83 billion in 2024. This reflects a very early impact of the Accelerated Export Development Program, launched only last year, and demonstrates the continued resilience and expanding contribution of the non-traditional export sector to Ghana's export economy. Mr. Speaker, mining remains a cornerstone of Ghana's economic development, making substantial contributions to employment creation, export earnings, and government revenue. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the mining and quarrying subsector accounted for 17.4% of the overall 33.8% of industry's share of gross domestic product in 2025. It emerged as the leading contributor within the industrial sector. The sector generated export earnings of approximately 15.25 billion, accounting for 65.37% of Ghana's total export receipts, out of a total of 23.3 billion. Mr. Speaker, the abolition of value-added tax on mineral exploration activities is expected to significantly reduce upfront costs for investors, improve project economics, and stimulate increased greenfield and brownfield explorations across the country. The fight against Galamsey remains complex and demands a multi-dimensional response that integrates strong enforcement, the application of technology, sound regulation, and active community participation. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, in collaboration with the Ministry of Transport and Ghana Revenue Authority and the Ministry of Finance, has registered 1,808 pieces of earth-moving equipment at the port, of which 1,033 have been fitted with trackers and are being tracked. The protection of our water bodies and forest reserves is ongoing with the deployment of 1,634 water guards across Western North, Savannah, Upper West, Bono, Eastern, Ashanti, Central, Volta, and this nationwide deployment aims to strengthen surveillance, improve rapid response, and enhance on the against illegal mining activities that threaten critical water bodies, forest ecosystems, and livelihoods. Mr. Speaker, NIMOS will maintain regular coordinated operations across all 21 identified hotspots to prevent re-entry of illegal miners into these reserves. While temporary deployments yielded positive results, they proved insufficient for sustained enforcement. Mr. Speaker, in the works housing and water subsector, these are vital pillars of Ghana's national development, shaping sustainable livelihoods through reliable water supply and affordable housing that enhance citizens' well-being. Sea defense works are ongoing. We've successfully completed works at Komenda, Ningo Pram, and Elmina. Together, these three projects have protected approximately 15 kilometers of our coastline and safeguarded lives and livelihoods and property. In March 2025, I visited Solakope, Agaveji, and Amutinu in the Ketu South municipality, where tidal waves had displaced thousands of residents. We made a firm commitment to address the devastation. Mr. Speaker, the contractor for the phase 2 of the Blekusu Coastal Protection Works was awarded the contract, and in August last year, I officially touched sod to commence the project. I'm pleased to inform this House that the project is currently 25% complete and calm being restored along the coastline. Notwithstanding these actions, flooding remains a major infrastructural challenge in the country and a top priority for this government. Flooding is in place and coordinating the national mitigation efforts against flooding. Ghana continues to grapple with housing deficits currently estimated at over 1.8 million units. Some significant strikes have in line with government's earlier commitments to complete all ongoing housing initiatives. We have successfully concluded the joint venture arrangements which we inherited for the completion of the Saglemi housing project. The Attorney General is reviewing all related documentation to finalize and commence the project. When these projects are finished, it will increase the number of housing stock available. The TDC in Ghana is also steadily advancing work on 800 housing units under the Akron Affordable Housing Project at Tema Community 26. To position TDC Ghana as a key player in Ghana's housing industry, I performed a sword cutting ceremony last year for what they call the Oxygen City Housing Project in Ho of all places. That project seeks to address Ghana's deficit by developing 1,000 affordable housing units. We've also continued with our resettlement housing efforts for the victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage, with 251 of the planned 1,010 housing units in critical housing zones already under construction. Collectively, these initiatives demonstrate government's continued resolve to expand access to affordable housing, strengthen urban planning, and provide relief to affected communities. Mr. Speaker, renewable water resources are estimated at about 54 billion cubic meters, with over 70% derived from the Volta River, which is shared among 6 riparian nations. We're implementing key interventions to expand and improve water services nationwide. So the following urban water supply projects are at various stages of completion. The Keta Water Works, the Winchi Water Supply Project, Sekendi Takrady Water Supply Project. And I'm happy to announce that Anyako has good, clean drinking water today, and the Community Water and Sanitation Agency will commission the project. It will also serve the island community and Sunyani water supply in Tamale, Yendi, and Takwa. Mr. Speaker, grant support to improve water supply services in low-income and high-density areas in Wa and Bolgatanga, aiming to address water challenges and provide relief to vulnerable populations. Mr. Speaker, the following rural water supply projects are ongoing: Asankregwa, Seshuyoso, Duadaso, Kwemandamfa, Goso, Jwabing, and Edumbamso. To strictly follow the resetting agenda and secure sufficient funding, the Ministry of Finance has allocated 6.3 billion Ghana cedis to the District Assembly's Common Fund. This amount covers 4 quarters of the 5 fiscal year, and it has been allocated to all 261 metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies to execute the activities outlined in the medium-term development plans and annual action plans. Mr. Speaker, out of the amount released, a total of 4.3 billion has been dispersed to all MMDAs. 4th quarter installment is being processed and will be dispersed soon. Mr. Speaker, all members of this House will agree with me. All members of this House will agree with me that the flow of resources to the district assemblies is unprecedented. All your assemblies are receiving more money than they've ever received in several years. Mr. Speaker, in fulfillment of government's commitment to strengthening local governance and decentralization, the ministry has, for the first time in the history of local governance, disbursed a total of 100 million Ghana cedis in monthly allowances to all assembly members. Unprecedented, assembly members have received their allowances. The Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs has also finalized designs for the new 24-hour economy modern market to be constructed in all metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies. Mr. Speaker, procurement processes are far advanced to commence the construction of these markets, and very soon, in all your districts, honorable members, you will have a 24-hour market operational. Mr. Speaker, our tourism and creative arts sector has a lot to offer. Creatives using the new media are giving our nation greater prominence than we could have achieved through any first-class traditional media outlet. Our economy will not be built only by traditional sectors, but also by human creativity sectors that will absorb those people who will be displaced from the shop floor by the new AI technologies that are being rolled out. Ghana has become a favorite tourist destination because of our history, culture, our arts, our music, our fashion, and our food. Government has allocated 20 million Ghana cedis to the film sector alone. This is going to the film sector to support Kumawood and Gollywood and all the woods. Mr. Speaker, another 20 million cedis has been given for the other creative sectors. I believe that this injection of money will bolster our creative sectors. Mr. Speaker, I wish to assure the creative industry and the Ministry of Tourism that I'll be your personal ambassador for the promotion of tourism and the creative sector. Mr. Speaker, in line with our new national efforts to bring events and conferences to Ghana, we are going to undertake the refurbishment of the Accra International Conference Center to restore it to its iconic past as the country's national and international events and conference venue. Mr. Speaker, the original contractors of the center, Enego Project Ghana Limited, have conducted a structural integrity assessment at the request of the Office of Chief of Staff and made recommendations for the facilities renovation and refurbishment. They will commence this work in the next few weeks. But Mr. Speaker, the AICC is not enough for a country seeking to develop its creative sector and become West Africa's destination for meetings, conferences, musical concerts, and entertainment. So working with the private sector, work will also commence this year on a befitting convention and creative event center to position Ghana as West Africa's leading hub for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, and creative events. Ghana will also begin this year the renovation of the State Banquet Hall, which has been closed for a couple of years. Mr. Speaker, this year we will strengthen Ghana's standing in the major global and continental sporting events. We will make our fifth FIFA World Cup appearance. And for us, this is an opportunity to boost national branding and the economy beyond just sports. Mr. Speaker, supporters and other people interested in going to support their team would have to submit a visa request to the American Embassy. We are being told that we must ensure that supporters who go return on their visas. It has taken a lot of work to restore Ghana's 5-year non-immigrant visas and take us off the ban list. It is my hope that this event will not send thousands of Ghanaians to America and get us back on the ban list. Mr. Speaker, the Black Queens will compete at the 2026 African Cup of Nations, Women's African Cup of Nations, building on their bronze medal finish in Morocco. At the youth level, Ghana will participate in the 2026 Youth Olympic Games in Dakar with a multidisciplinary team aimed at strengthening long-term elite pathways. We'll also compete at the Commonwealth Games 2026 in Glasgow, reinforcing Ghana's presence across the Commonwealth sporting landscape. Mr. Speaker, as a member of the Ghana Journalists Association, I've been deeply concerned about the abuses suffered by journalists at the hands of some of our errant security personnel. I've asked the leadership of the security agencies to take firm action and to reorient their men and women on the need to be accommodating to journalists who are only doing their job of keeping citizens informed. I've also been concerned about the state of our state-owned media, most of which have suffered from historical underfunding and grappling with deteriorating infrastructure and facilities. I recently toured these media houses to learn about their challenges at first hand, a revitalization plan into their operations. The reintroduction of the Media Development Fund is also being reconsidered to support the Ghanaian media. I conclude. During my recent trip to Zambia, we saw what a united Ghana can achieve on the global stage. A simple mislabeling of our culture could have reduced us to a punchline. Instead, we moved with speed and confidence. We corrected the record. We turned what was supposed to be ridicule into reach. We turned confusion into connection. We taught what could have been a negative social media trend into a handshake of friendship with our Zambian brothers and sisters. Mr. Speaker, for most people, that episode